you're going to be working on is Layer Basics. So you're going to go back to that folder that you copied to your desktop. You're going to go to Layer Basics. You're going to see the end file. So again, if you select it and then press the space bar, it's going to show you what that final artwork is going to look like. I'm going to open up the start file. And we are now going to be using layers. So we need to make sure that our layers panel is open. So we'll go to Window, Layers. And you can put that wherever you want, and you're going to see that there are several layers within this file, but some of them are hidden. So we're going to select that background layer. And if you click on the eyeball, you're going to notice that that white background disappears and leaves a checkerboard pattern. Let me zoom in a little bit on that. That checkerboard pattern means that it is transparent. So we don't want that white background to be in there. What we're going to do now is we're going to put in another image inside of this. So we're going to take the beach image that was in there. So I'm going to go back to that folder, so you can just either go to your Finder, which is a really easy way to do that, and I want to open up this beach picture. There's a couple ways that you could do this. You could quite literally just drag it into here and it will place it. Or if I go back to the Finder, and this is a PSD, so it's going to open up in Photoshop. If I open that up, it's another tab, so I can go back and forth between these different files. So I can actually tile these. So if I go to Window, Arrange, Tile All vertically, or Tile 2 up vertically, it'll put them side by side, and then I can use my Move tool and I can drag it in this way as well. So now I can get rid of that beach picture. So there's a number of ways you can bring that in. There's even more ways that you can bring that into the file. So right now it's behind the pineapple. So if I click the pineapple layer off, I can see that image. And now I'm going to go to, I want to make sure that I'm on layer 1, which I actually want to rename. I want to rename that beach. So to rename it, I'm going to click on the name, not on the thumbnail, but on the name. So if I click that twice, I can rename that beach, and then just kind of click off of it. I would suggest naming your layers because you can get a lot of layers in there and it can get really, really confusing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a border to this layer. So we have to make sure that we're on that layer. And we're going to go up to Layer, Layer Style, and we're going to put a stroke on it. So an outline in Photoshop and Illustrator is called a stroke. So I'm going to click on Stroke, and this little menu is going to pop up, and I want to choose 5 for the pixels. That's how thick it is. I want the position to be on the inside of the image. I want the blending mode to be normal, the opacity at 100%, and then I want the color of this to be white. So if I just double click on this, drag my color picker all the way up to the white, you'll notice that white, if I look at the RGB values, are all 255, and if I look at the CMYK values, they're all zeros, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. Then I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to put a little border around that. It'll be more noticeable when we start playing around with this a little bit more. Now we're going to rearrange our layers. We want to make all of our layers visible. So we want to make the postage layer visible, the Hawaii layer visible, the flower visible, the pineapple visible again, and then we are going to bring that background layer visible as well. And now we're going to rearrange these layers because I want the picture of the beach to be in front of the pineapple but behind all of the other layers. So if I just bring that pineapple layer, if I click and drag that down, that's going to make that pineapple layer go behind the beach layer.